Welcome to the Leadership TKO podcast, your source of strategies and insight to make you a winning leader. With no further ado, here is your host, Lakeisha McKnight.
All right, everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Leadership TKO, the Night Show via podcast. I'm so excited to be here tonight, just as I always am. Excited always to have the opportunity, to sow into your life. It doesn't matter what country you are from or where you're listening to this or what your cultural background is. Listen, it's important for me to know that you are being the leader that you were predestined to be. And so I want to welcome you to the Leadership TKO, the Night Show via podcast. And so just to give you a couple of things in case you are new to this podcast is just, one of many podcasts, a part of the Leadership TKO internet radio station. And this internet radio station is one subdivision within the Leadership TKO brand. The brand itself is housed by an LLC or limited liability company by the name of the iLead Company. And iLead is an acronym that actually stands for the International Leadership Education and Development Company. So that's why we use iLead, because it's just shorter. The title of the company is long, so we just made it a little bit shorter. So just to give you a couple of some information about that, that's how all of this is indeed connected. So the iLead Company is the company that houses the Leadership TKO brand. So before I dive into any more specifics about tonight's episode, it's really a special episode. I am going to share on social media, but more specifically on Facebook, since that's the platform that we leverage the most. I'm going to share right there. Okay, so I'm going to share first and foremost on my profile wall, and then I'm going to share on my personal fan page and some other relevant places on Facebook, because I believe that it's critical to really allow other people to get a hold of information as it's available. It was made available to me when I was coming up and growing up as a leader, and people were really trying to help me to walk in the purpose that God set for me. And so I want to give back, and I want to allow more people to be able to come on and to listen into this great content that will be shared. So I'm going to go ahead and type in join me now as I am live. Got to be careful because sometimes the devices here like to put in love instead of live. So join me now as I am live discussing how to become here we go. Now remember, of course, here on Thursdays, it is indeed Pro Speaking Thursdays, okay? So that's our focus for today. And so I'm going to be discussing how to become a paid speaker. That is what we're going to be focusing on tonight. And even as I'm sharing on relevant platforms here online, I do invite you to do the same. Feel free to share the thread. Even as you may notice it on my timeline, you can go ahead and share that if you like. On places on Facebook, whether it's groups or fan pages that you're connected to, feel free to go ahead and share it. So I've shared on my profile. Now I'm going to go share on my fan page. So let me go ahead and do that now. Here we go. As soon as it comes up, there we go. All right. Here we are. Okay. And then there's also maybe two other places that I'm going to share on Facebook. There is what we call our subdivision group. Okay, it's an interest group, but it's a subdivision group that I am going to post in right now as we speak. So I'm going to go there and invite the members there to join in on the episode on tonight. So hopefully we will be good there. Okay, so I do see it. Okay. So I'm going to share there. And then we also have a subdivision fan page, okay? And I believe it's relevant to touch on these places because we want to ensure that we're connecting with a maximum number of people as possible with these episodes. So I'm going to go ahead and share there. Here we are. Perfecto. All right. So again, we're just grateful for the opportunity to share in these relevant places and allowing more people to join us as it is Pro Speaking Thursdays. We know that there are a lot of people, professionals who really want to grow as a speaker and establish a speaking career. And we want to make sure we sow as much value as possible. Now, with Pro Speaking Thursdays, we definitely believe that your words, your spoken word, can help you, as a professional, to grow your influence, your impact, and your income. We truly believe that. And that's why we've dedicated Thursdays to this. Now, on occasion, we do have a campaign where we do interviews on Thursdays, but we've paused our interviews because we are making a shift as we prepare for the transition into 2018. So we are going to continue with our interviews. We have not forsaken them, but we want to make sure we are preparing for the transition into 2018 instead of waiting for 2018 to arrive. Okay, so that's what we're doing there. So once again, welcome to the platform. Now, we've had some exciting things that we've shared on my timeline on Facebook. If we're not connected and you are in another country right now, whether it's Australia, you could be right now in South Africa or Nigeria, we do invite you to send me a friend request. That way you can be connected to me on Facebook and you can see and follow along with all the festivities that we conduct on a day-by-day basis based on the topic that we're emphasizing, because the topics change from day to day. We have specific topics that we cover from Sundays all the way to Fridays. On Saturdays, that's like our free day. Sometimes we just engage in social media and we connect and we follow one another on social media. But on Sundays through Fridays, we do have some topics that we focus in on. And as I mentioned, today is for speaking. So if you're trying to be a public speaker, professional speaker, this is the day that we dedicate to it. So here's what I am going to share with you. If you hear anything tonight during this episode that you can relate to, that's really helped you, it's a nugget that, man, you're saying to yourself, I'm going to implement ASAP. I do recommend for you to hit the like button next to the episode on the Spreaker platform, because that's the platform that we're using to go live on, the Spreaker platform. So hit the like button, hit the heart button. That lets us know that you've enjoyed it. If you want to comment on the platform, you can do that. If you want to ask a question, you can do that as well on the platform. So don't feel as though you're compelled to leave a comment. You don't have to, but we invite you to do that if you're feeling led to doing so. Don't be shy, be friendly. We're not going to bite you at all. This is a virtual platform, so it's probably impossible to do that, right? No virtual bite, right? So again, thank you. Now, if you want to follow along, you want to learn more about Leadership TKO and our subdivisions, first, there's one place I do invite you to go to, and that's the main website, which is leadershiptko.com. You can go there and definitely check out what we have going on. All right, everybody. So please note that we are going to have some great information added to the blog about speaking very often. We're supposed to have a post on there today, but we've just been so busy trying to make sure we get things back on task with our systems. So we are not going to forsake you. We're still going to be adding stuff gradually. When we do put some things on there about speaking or about fitness, those are the two topics that I know are hot topics for all of you. We will let you know when there's some fresh content on there. Even if it's not the designated day, we'll let you know, hey, listen, visit the blog. More content about speaking has been added there. So we'll let you know that, even though it's not that specific designated day. Okay, so we will give you a heads up. All right, so here's the deal. Tonight, we're going to just elaborate a bit more on the topic of getting paid as a speaker. We had a little bit of an audio broadcast, like a powwow. I actually was there longer than 15 minutes, longer than what I expected, but it's okay. I provided 7 steps that's going to help you to become a professional speaker. One thing that I will share with you, as it's a little bit of a benefit for being here on the podcast, is that, there are some relevant places that you can go for leads as a speaker. Now, we do have a program. Actually, I want to say 3. It's the same program, but it's various levels to it. It's called the Gig Success Program, where we provide specific leads. So you get like the names of the organizations, the phone numbers, the emails, and sometimes the websites for the organizations, and you can just go ahead and dive in. We have scripts that you can use and so much more to make the process easy for you to get booked. Okay, we have various levels. I think we have the gold level, the diamond level, and then the platinum level for those programs. So if that's something you want to learn about, feel free to ask us at any particular time. But I will tell you this, that social media also is like one of the best places to dive into when it comes to generating leads as a speaker. You just have to know how to put in the right words to research. So if you brainstorm the right words like conferences and things like that, and you do your research on Facebook, you will come up and you will see various options there for you. A lot of people don't know that. You don't really delve into looking at those keywords and doing your research to find out. But I'm going to tell you, it's powerful. And you will come up with great leads, not just Facebook, but YouTube. You have places like LinkedIn that you can do searches for, because people post about their conferences on these various platforms. And when you do your research the right way, you can generate a list of leads for yourself. But you have to do it the right way, though. Okay. Sometimes, depending on what you're doing, you can get distracted. You can be looking at the wrong thing. And the next thing an hour or two has gone by and you don't have the results that you're looking for. Okay, you have to be very organized about it. And one thing that I know about being a paid speaker is that you really have to put yourself out there. A lot of times what I've noticed with speakers is that you post something one time and you expect to get some type of bite for it. It's almost like you're throwing a lifeline out there, like you have a fishing rod and you throw that lifeline out there and you're just hoping that someone bites it. That's just like with some people who have products and services. It's like you post it on your timeline and you're like, man, I'm just hoping that somebody bites it. Marketing doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way for products, and it definitely doesn't work that way if you're trying to get booked as a speaker. You have to be strategic about it. Now, what I mean by this, again, designated specific days. Okay, today I'm going to do my research. I'm going to build my list of leads. Tomorrow I'm going to work on making initial calls. The next day I'm going to work on doing follow-ups, like that. So you have to be strategic about your process, because if you're not going to see the results. And follow-up is key. If you made a call one day and then you don't follow up for like another 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you can put yourself in a bind, because what if they're really looking for speakers, and if you had followed up, you could have occupied one of those spots. So you have to be diligent about your following up and about definitely initiating the opportunity and letting them know about, asking them, in what ways can you serve them? Because the people approach meeting planners sometimes the wrong way. Are you looking for speakers? That's a great question. And to ask, even if they have all the speakers they need for their events, there are certain ways that you can put yourself in the lineup so that if someone doesn't follow through, you can be backup. And there's nothing wrong with potentially being backup. It doesn't mean that you're less of a speaker. It just means that you're available. That's all that means. Okay? So please, please, please just make sure that you're doing your due diligent steps when it comes to trying to get booked as a speaker. Remember, be careful not to limit yourself when it comes to pricing. All right. Be careful not to do that. Don't, put yourself out there and say, I can maybe do it for $500. No. In order to be taken seriously, again, $3,000 minimum. $3,000 minimum. Maybe the organization is struggling. I get it. But you may not be the speaker for them, or depending on what it is that they're doing. Like if you are trying to build your portfolio and you don't quite have an extensive portfolio yet, maybe, just maybe, you can use and let them know that, upon this agreement, if you would agree to allow me to utilize an area of the venue to receive video testimonials from some of the staff or from some of the audience members, and if you agree to give me, recording the event and giving me a copy of the recording, there are certain things that you can do where you can ensure that you get $3,000 worth of value Even though they didn't give you $3,000, you can get $3,000 worth of value from from the opportunity. So do not forsake those opportunities where it's like, I just don't think they're gonna, they want me to do it for $500. Okay, well, we need to revamp now this process. Maybe it's out of state. Let them know, hey, I'll do it. If you're going to do it for $500, maybe they can cover the expenses for the flight. Maybe they'll take care of your accommodations. You have to make sure you work it and make sure the value is there. That is really the point that I'm trying to make, because if the value is not there and you're spending all this money or you're doing all these things and you're not being compensated for it, then you have to kind of weigh the cost for it. That's the bottom line. I'm not saying though, that, you are to decline every opportunity where they don't give you $3,000, but let them know that you require a $3,000 value and fees. So you can word it that way where your minimum baseline is $3,000 as far as a speaking fee and value. So depending on how you word it in your contracts and things of that nature, they can work with you to ensure that you have anything to worry about when it comes to your portfolio or anything like that. Maybe they can establish a contract with another neighboring organization and they can partner up and come up with the $3,000. Whatever it is that you need to do, these are just some ways to ensure that you maintain your level of professionalism, and definitely get paid for what you do. Are you seeing some value in the information that I'm providing for you right now? I think a lot of times speakers, they're not getting this. They don't know how to put their packaging together. They don't know how to really word it. So it becomes a little bit confusing. Are you receiving anything from it? I know that Sandra Sakbanushis on the platform and Janine Harrod Brown is on. Anyone else on the platform, if you're gleaning anything from this, go ahead and let me know. We want to know whether this is definitely helping you out as you're trying to grow your speaking business. All right, cool. Okay. Yeah, because this is really essential for you to grow, okay? And these are just some of the things that we're going to be delving deeper into. As I was alluding to, I think I was talking about this yesterday or last night, how we're going to be having more master classes, okay? Master classes. And if there's a specific topic that you want to know about, you're like, Lakeisha, hands down, I need this topic. I need it. Let me know on this platform. We're also going to be engaging, some of the speakers that are connected to me on Facebook and asking them about the topics. I'm going to ask you all to probably inbox me the topics, okay? Because we want to make sure that we don't want to put you out there as if you're really not trying to grow. And so we're going to form it in a way where you can inbox me the need that you have as a speaker. That way we can make sure that your information and where you are remains confidential. We don't want to put everybody on blast like that. So just be aware of that. That's going to be probably one of our last posts for tonight, because we want to make sure that our classes are going to cater to your needs, and it's not just some things that we think you need, but that is indeed something that you need. Okay. All right. And I know some of you were working closely on, some of you have been really holding back. And I really want you to take a good assessment right now. This is going to be the last thing that I'm requesting for you tonight. Do an assessment. Have you grown as a speaker? Looking at it, looking at where you were last year around this time of the year, have you grown as a speaker? That's part one, question one. Yes or no? Have you grown? Number two, has your business grown? And this is different now. Has your business as a speaker grown compared to last year around this time? Is it the same, or has it enhanced or become better? Yes or no? And I want you to give, a true, honest answer about that, because this is essential. Because if you can assess where you are and realize, man, there's certain things that I still need to work on, certain things I need to do, then you can establish goals and be able to move forward. All right. Awesome. So here's what I would love for you to do. Definitely get connected to me on Facebook, okay? If we're not connected, please go ahead and do that. We have to go back and do some updating, some serious updating. I know the last couple episodes, we have nothing in the description area, so we apologize for that. And again, it's because we want to make sure we're A-okay with our systems, number one. And number two, I have a little lady at the house who is teething right now. She's cutting some more teeth, for those of you who are mothers out there. And we definitely want to make sure that they are well taken care of. And so I've been giving her a lot of my time when it comes to ensuring that she's okay. She wants to know that mommy is there. So definitely be patient with us. We'll get that information in there for you. But just keep in mind, though, we're working diligently to get the list of classes created, and we are going to make sure we have classes created whereby it's meeting a need, essential need that you have. All right. For those of you ladies that are listening in right now, if you're not connected to the Born to Lead campaign, remember, we've taken a pause. We are getting things arranged so that we can have this new, updated, improved, active group that's going to be readily available starting next week. Okay. I believe we started to create the group, but we want to go back and make sure that we're accurate with that. And make sure that everyone that is added to the group already is committed to growing as a woman, number one, and then helping other women to grow. And that's a two-part assessment. Are you ready to grow? And then are you willing to put in the work to help other women to grow? Okay. And so that's the biggest question at hand. All right. So if you're not a member, stay tuned. The link for joining the Born to Lead campaign will be gradually added in the description area. Again, soon we're going to deactivate the current one. If it's still active, you might not want to do that just yet, because we're going to be making a transition for the current members of the group. So please, just pause for a moment. We're going to give you the new link. The new link is going to be catered to the new year. So stay tuned to find out what the new link is. But other than that, everyone, I want to say thank you so much for being connected to Leadership TKO. Big shout out to Australia. They surpassed the United States in listening to the podcast and being connected over the last 7 days. So shout out to Australia, all the Australians out there who are definitely connected and sharing the love of Leadership TKO. Appreciate you much. For those of you out there in Peru, the Virgin Islands, South Africa, Nigeria, Pakistan, I think was even up there. Italy. Oh man, there were so many up there. I think I'm forgetting quite a few. Canada. Woo! Of course, the United States was up there. But we thank, even the Ukraine. Those of you Ukrainians, thank you so much. You all are connected. We just discovered that this week. So we appreciate each and every one of you. We appreciate definitely God for all that you are doing. Yes. God, we thank you. We thank you so very much for the expansion, for the growth, for using Leadership TKO to touch lives around the world. We thank you. And so for everyone listening in, tomorrow is Fitness Friday. It is Fitness Friday. We're going to help you so that you can be fit as a leader, because if your body is not well, how are you going to do anything like speak, write books, or anything? So keep that in mind. We're going to be catering to your fitness and to your health and wellness tomorrow. Don't get unplugged yet now. We want you to stay plugged in, even as we talk about fitness. So again, thank you so much. And of course, until tomorrow, I do encourage each and every one of you, you, my sister, and you, my brother, to think, to speak, and to live leadership.
Thanks for listening to the Leadership TKO podcast. To continue the conversation of how to take your leadership from good to great, visit www.leadershiptko.com.